So, the sequel for Godzilla x Kong has finally found its director exactly a couple of weeks after we learnt that Adam Wingard, the director of the last two MonsterVerse movies, is in fact not going to return to direct the movie. Yesterday, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed in an article that Legendary Studios has locked in Mr. Grant Sputor to direct the follow-up to the second biggest blockbuster of the year, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Speaking from a purely personal standpoint, I am not quite sure regarding the choice, primarily because Mr. Sputor has not had much experience working on big science fiction movies. In fact, he has previously worked on just one major commercial project, which was basically a Netflix exclusive feature film called I Am Mother that came out back in 2019. The film stars actress Hilary Swank and is basically a modernized cyberpunk kind of a science fiction movie. For a Netflix exclusive feature film, it was actually quite decent, which managed to receive largely positive reviews. Despite being made on a budget, it actually did have some really gorgeous visuals. We were in fact in a very similar situation 5 years ago before the release of King of the Monsters, which was directed by Mr. Michael Dougherty. Back then, Dougherty was in a very similar spot as Grant Sputor, having the experience of working on just one major commercial movie, which was this Christmas horror comedy flick called Krampus. As it stands, fast forward 5 years later, King of the Monsters still remains to be my absolute favorite MonsterVerse movie. So, I am definitely hopeful that we might get to see a very similar scenario with the sequel for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Grant Sputor took to his Instagram to express his gratitude over this exciting new opportunity. As you can see on your screen, he writes quite a lovely caption over here. He says that he has been a monster fan all his life and intends to follow in the footsteps of the other directors associated with the franchise. He further says that joining the MonsterVerse for him is nothing short of a dream come true, and he is immensely thankful for this titan-sized opportunity. So, it is honestly great to finally see a director who seems to be passionate about kaijus and monsters like most of us on this channel. So, the decision of Legendary Studios to drop Adam Wingard and hire an entirely new and inexperienced director is actually quite a mystery. I mean, why would you get rid of the man who just gave you your most successful movie of all time? As wild as it sounds, the only reasonable explanation to this scenario that comes to my mind is that Legendary Studios are looking to introduce an iconic Toho monster like Destroyah or maybe even Space Godzilla in their next movie. It is very likely that the studio might be saving some money by cutting the cost of the director and scaling back the budget, which they might use to buy the copyrights of a certain iconic kaiju from Toho. If we look at the last two MonsterVerse movies, they hardly had any kind of a decent storyline and were extremely campy and ridiculous, to say the very least. However, people were still willing to pay money to watch these movies on the big screen, which was clearly reflected by their overwhelming commercial success at the box office. It shows that when it comes to the MonsterVerse, people do not really care about anything else and just want to see some cool and larger-than-life monster battles on the big screen. This could have led Legendary Studios to believe that it would be a smart idea to just focus on securing the rights for a certain popular kaiju rather than spending money on a popular director. So, I am pretty confident and hopeful that we are going to see a certain iconic kaiju appear in the next movie as the main antagonist. We also got to know about a month ago that Dave Callaham, the scriptwriter for Shang-Chi and The Legend of Ten Rings, will be writing the script for the next MonsterVerse movie. As a matter of fact, Callaham also has the experience of being a co-writer for the script of the critically and commercially acclaimed Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So, we already have two very talented individuals on board at Legendary Studios to oversee the next MonsterVerse theatrical project. So, they have a great deal of pressure and responsibility on their shoulders as they try and follow up to the events of The New Empire, which is now officially the most successful MonsterVerse movie of all time. Back in March, Mr. Wingard stated that he wanted his next project to be more focused on the Big G in a way similar to how the previous two movies within the MonsterVerse was more focused on Kong. He also revealed that he wanted it to be more emotional and have a similar resonance to the Godzilla vs. Destroyah movie. Now, since Adam Wingard is no longer associated with the sequel, it remains to be seen whether or not his ideas are going to be executed by Mr. Sputor. So, that is all I had to share in this video. Do let me know your own thoughts on Grant Sputor being hired by Legendary Studios as the director for Godzilla x Kong Part 3 in the comments down below. And please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.